Okay, y'all. I realize I always begin with a big It's sort of like only different. Today, early this morning, I was listening to another reader, Birth of Venus Tarot, and her reading prompted in me and she was sort of, I think, asking about letting go of fear. Fear was the big thing. And I thought, yeah, that makes sense. I feel like I am kind of shedding this fear skin. Dear, that's terrible. I have to go. Uh-huh. You know, it's like as the snake sheds its skin to renew itself. And then I realized that's only one step, because as I get unafraid or less afraid or begin to work with my fear, and I, as a result, the skin is shed and I'm evolving, I realized as well I have to work to release myself from other people's fear that I'll get into trouble, or that they're fearful for me. They're feeling protective, particularly if I am pushing the edge a little bit with growth. You know, and these are people who want the best for me. But the best for me, sometimes from their perspective, is stay where you are. You know, you've reached some kind of safe ground, and you know, it could be physically, but I think it's more as we go out into new territory. I don't think I'm the only one who has some people who feel protective and who want us to be safe. And, you know, I mean, being safe is a good thing. I mean, I'm a Virgo. Security is big. And I'm doing things to try to make my situation more secure as I age. You know, so that a big mess isn't, I mean, it's going to be inevitably, but that I can mitigate the mess that's handed down the pike to those who will come after. And nevertheless, I still, with the time, and I keep saying this, but you know, I'm 60, I'm about to turn like next week, 68. That's getting up there, and so I just feel like I can't be held back by my own fear of change and expansion, and I can't be held back by other people's fear of my change and expansion. I don't have time for that. And I don't have to, literally, I don't have time for that. It's game time. There's some bug in here. It's not in a panicky way, but just in a, shit gets real at this point. And I can't, here it comes, big mosquito. They can't protect me from growth, and I can't protect them from their concerns for me. I can try to reassure, but I'm not going to cease to take risks or cease to go into uncharted territory because it scares me or somebody else. You know, which isn't to say I'll go hide in, sorry, maybe it's biting my foot now. I do a lot of self-comforting things. I do a lot of grounding things. I have, terrible sort of bouts of insecurity where I have to, I do this every night, hold the hot water bottle and just feel safe. And I do. Anyways. So, when we let go of our own fear, it does something to everybody who is attached to us. It disturbs the energy field, the force field. There's a disturbance in the field. Because we all are kind of connected by a web, by a sort of mycelium network. And sometimes our growth shakes it out. Shake it up, baby. Twist and shout. And that's hard. You couldn't find an energy more. Well, it's balancing. I'm all about, I'm going to take this leap. This is like slow going. Earth energy. I just think that's funny. It's a reminder like, hold your horses, Junior. But this is a message coming in as well. Rue is about to make this groovy scene. But it could be my own slow progress, which is your own slow progress, because in some way we're linked. Or not. If this isn't your story, doesn't resonate, don't try to make it, then it's not your story. It's somebody's story. It's mine, and I think it's some of y'all. Right out. Ace of Cups. Self-love. The opportunity for love coming in. Slowly but surely. Truly, Pentacles. Believable, tangible something that doesn't arrive. How can it? We're talking about growth here and how we get to the point of sort of shedding the skin. It's not a reckless thing. It takes a lot of work to get there. A lot of time, Pentacles. Work time. Seven of Swords. There's some kind of, and I'm going to think for a minute because the knee-jerk thing to say is deception. It's a sword energy. So it's about beliefs, communication, or the kind of twistiness of those same, instead of beliefs, it can be like disbelief, refusal to believe. When I was a kid, for some reason, I had this saying, I refuse to believe. I refuse to believe. And my dad thought that was so funny. And where did that go? I think he thought it must have come from a cartoon or something. Because I was pretty little. But I don't think it did. I think something in me was already bucking some kind of belief system. It can be a card of deception, of self-deception, of a refusal to face the truth. It's a card of exiting. Sometimes strategically. Sometimes thinking about it a long time and trying to plan sword energy. Think about a way out. Sort of, how do I thread the needle? Well, slowly. But I notice how this guy the movement of this guy is toward this energy. Slow progress. I don't quite get that. We got to figure out. Yeah, we got to figure out. Actually, on the table, they're facing away from each other. The Seven of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. So it might be that one, perhaps an earth sign, is moving forward slowly. Meanwhile, perhaps somebody else is planning an escape or something secretive that they're not talking about. Swords are communicative. This is like, I'll just sneak out the back, Jack, in the opposite direction from this Knight. Knight goes this way slowly, steadily, what did I say, authentically, truly, in a grounded way. And this guy, meanwhile, exits stage left in a not being upfront about it, not saying anything, not showing anything. So what, and in the middle, Ace of Cups. I think one person is moving on, perhaps from an opportunity that didn't pan out. Somehow these rays have something to do with like panning out, fanning out. The other image I get is when you're panning for gold, you're looking, the water goes through and what's left is a nugget of gold. Something pans out, it means there it is, the nugget of gold. I found it. Maybe something wasn't found, the opportunity was missed, and one person moved on. Physically, and one person maybe ghosted. Tell us about the sneaky energy, that Seven of Swords. Might be strategic, might be... I don't think it's deceitful per se, but it's certainly not announcing it. It's... okay. Three of Swords. I think they broke somebody's heart. And maybe this behavior, the Seven of Swords behavior, I'm not going to talk, I'm just going to ghost, I'm just extricating myself strategically. And I get the feeling it's not to hide it from this other energy. It may be to hide it from somebody else. But whatever it is, it's all the way around, probably wasn't the best way to do it. It might have been the worst way to do it. It marked a division, a separation, the memory, bad memories of whatever this guy left behind. Left the other person with a memory of heartbreak. I don't know where this person went. But I think equally this person was escaping a situation strategically because it was, kind of a shit show. It was bad. It was not communicative. It was not trustworthy. It wasn't real. It was based on no communication, no agreed upon, just not agreeing, no belief that was shared, fundamental kind of core belief. And I think that's, well, let's see. Let's get another on the Knight of Pentacles, please. And I'm shuffling right side up, which I never do. Well, let's look at the bottom first. This other person who's moving on slowly was really confused. You know, there was this opportunity for love. That's all I know, says Knight of Pentacles. I showed up in 3D, I showed up. And they didn't. That's a 7. Another 7. This time of Cups. A card of confusion, illusion. Like, what just happened? Where did it go? It just disappeared. It. He, she, they, the other person just disappeared. You know, and it's to do with love and connection. Eight of Cups might figure in the reading. 7 plus 1. So I get this almost like, you know, in cartoons where somebody goes, doing. I'm like, what? Poof. And then they were gone. And then he was gone. Yeah, that's from The Usual Suspects. A great and terrible movie, but there's a line in it about, you know, well, I'm not going to go into that part. We'll see if it plays out. But where did you go? Where did they go? Earth sign, Queen of Pentacles. You know, this is somebody who's giving, who cares, who's grounded, authentic. Could be an Earth sign, could be a Virgo. So there was this moment of like, huh? What just happened? But almost immediately, this person, you know, grounds himself. Isn't, you know, isn't going to get carried away by this disappearance of the other person. Under Knight of Pentacles, we have 10 of Wands. Something was really a burden, and you know, it can be like, I don't have the complete information. I'm confused. What happened? I don't have the complete information. Somebody booked it without talking about it or helping me to understand it. They left me in the lurch. I don't understand why they split, why they hurt me, why they said, sword energy, they said what they said that pierced me through and through. Whoever this is not happy about it. It's not like they're, you know, here, I stuck you with my swords, I split and hurt you, and that makes me feel good. No, this person feels ashamed. So that's almost what keeps them going. Look at what I've done. You've got to hide your love away. a Beatles song that came up the other day, and I'm hearing it again. So the Queen lay down the burden of trying to understand sword energy, this behavior. Didn't have enough information. Nobody was talking to Queen of, did I say Wands? Queen of Pentacles. What was the burden? I mean, we can imagine it was being iced out. The burden was not knowing. Not knowing what happened. Being left at a crossroads. Not knowing what next or which way to go. You know, it's also a card of blocking. I think it's like blocking that bad sword energy with sword energy. It's kind of, I mean, this isn't a great sword energy to me. But it does have the tinge of, I won't talk either. You know, if somebody won't communicate with me, I'll kind of put up these antennae, these two swords, to kind of get communication sort of through the ether. I'm blindfolded. Swords are about vision. I'm not trying to look into it anymore. Two of Swords, Three of Swords. You know, it's blocking more of that Three of Swords energy. I've made a decision. I'm moving on from that. It's clarifying. Oh, I'm sorry. It was supposed to, I put it on. Anyway, doesn't matter. Clarifying Ten of Wands. I've made a decision. Two of Swords. I had incomplete information, so I'm kind of looking inside and feeling the energies for myself, because I'm not getting anything from this person. I put down that burden of being in this crossroads place. I'm slowly moving on. Okay. Lovers. Card of Gemini. Card of Gemini. The twins. The match. And it might be reconciling your own masculine and feminine energies to become whole. Maybe that's what this character is moving toward. Lovers is also a choice. A choice. And I think it's, I'm giving up, basically. I can't understand. I don't have the information. Nobody's talking to me. You know, I'm going to drop the expectation that some clarity is going to come in. It's been too slow. I keep wanting to put it on Knight of Pentacles. Okay, I'll leave it there. This would mean Lovers goes on Ten of Wands, letting it go. And I'm hearing these two are sort of interchangeable because they're both sword energy. This is Gemini, air energy. Two of Swords. This is a card of decision, being at a crossroads. This is a card of decision, Lovers, to do with, it's a big decision. It's a major arcana decision. Who do I match with? How can I match with somebody who's not even here? who I've been holding space for. Holding space for. This is like making space for the new thing. The cycle is completed. It's taken too long. And it makes me feel sad even to say that. So when that's flip-flopped, 10 of Wands, 2 of Swords, unburdening the idea that I have to figure it out, sword energy. That I have to try to gather more information or figure out what happened. What happened? So I'm moving slowly forward toward the major arcana choice of who do I connect with, who matches me. Let's see about 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups, that confusion. What's the resolution? Is there one to the confusion? Another sword energy. Page of Swords. It's taking a look at something. It's digging for more information. Exactly what the Queen the Queen has decided she's not going to do. And it might be something like, I'll look into why this so confused me. If somebody just leaves you in the lurch, in heartbreak, it's like I need to take a lesson. What put me in this place? Of thinking it was to do with love and connection. Or, let me correct that, feeling it. I thought this was about love. Not that. I didn't think it was about this. I felt it was about love. This is sort of the new approach. It's fresh, it's young. It's what's the new thing I have to learn, or understand about my confusion. To clear up my confusion, but more importantly to understand what prompted me to think this was about love. Because there's ample evidence that it wasn't. Good question. And Ace of Cups, Queen of Pentacles are one above the other. It goes like this. So it's kind of, for this Queen of Pentacles, front and center is the opportunity for love. She's caring, she's giving. That's what she's about. Like, I love myself. I care about myself. That's established Pentacles energy. Where's the other guy? And maybe it's inside. You found union in yourself. You're whole. You're complete. Okay. What say you, Queen of Pentacles? Bottom of the deck is 5 of Pentacles. Talk about left in the lurch. This is being out in the cold, being put out in the cold, into a place where you have no resources. You're wounded, you're hurt. Two characters. So I think somebody's behavior, the way they didn't talk, the way they weren't transparent, ended up putting both parties out in the cold. And I think principally that person, but let's see. Well, Three of Pentacles, a card of building something with other people. For real, in 3D, Three of Pentacles. Pentacles, 3D, it's doubling down on that. It could be rebuilding. Wow, 10 of Pentacles. You know, it could describe a money situation. But with that Ace of Cups, I don't think so. But it's certainly speaking to value of the you know, the value of security, the value of stability and family and support. To build that. And maybe this Queen of Pentacles who bounced back into her own abundance. Confused, yes. Maybe betrayed. She may think she's betrayed. But she's putting down the burden of trying to figure it out. We had this yesterday. More Pentacles. This is a period of, it's another card of decision, but it's temporarily time, Pentacles, temporarily here an indecision, weighing things up. What makes me happy? There's a potential to build and grow, build back from this period of lack. And I okay. Bottom of the deck, four of Wands. This is a situation where perhaps only one person was giving, or both were invested in something else with their 5. If they come together, 4 of Wands, a card of coming together, they could have 10 of Pentacles. They each bring their 5. There's another reader who describes it that way. It's like 5 here, 5 here. You come together, you have 10. You have 10. Something to work with. Where'd that 3 go? Something to work with. This is a card of work. Building it back, constructing it. Over time. The 2 and the 3, sequential numbers, on the right track. I think on the right track to move, dance of change, you know, this rocking motion, to move forward to a situation where you can cooperate with other people, to come together, those 2 hands, to build something lasting, supportive, magnificent. You know, you couldn't find 2 more extremes. From a lack, where both people are out in the cold, to 4 of Wands. Wands energy, warmth. And this is togetherness. This is the bower. some people describe it as a card of twin flame. It certainly is a coming together with somebody who you were destined to come to this place. And it's hard to believe that that would be with that person who ghosted. Except all these cards of time to rebuild, to choose to rebuild. Back to the 10. And I don't think it's back to, I don't think this ever had a chance to come together. But it might now. Wish granted. A card of, you asked for it, you got it. And at the bottom of the deck we have Ace of Wands. After this 10 of Wands cycle wraps up, take out the impediments, the like the detritus, what was left, the rubble. There was rubble. It was rubble based on something that stalled out, that you kind of gave up on. Something stalled out. And I'm seeing the 2 here, sword energy, air energy, and the 2 here, Gemini, air energy. I think for both parties may even have felt ghosted, heartbroken. Nobody's talking. And at the beginning, we were talking all about growth. How the growth scares people, scares us, scares the people around us. But that cycle is ending. There's new growth. There's movement and a direction you're drawn toward this place. Wands are about direction and purpose and sort of discovery. And I do think it's the same person. Both of you out in the cold, both of you coming in from the cold to the warm place together. There's been a lot of resistance and heartbreak and miscommunication and misunderstanding about this relationship. And if in fact it sort of has that tinge of twin flame, Lovers, 2 of Cups. No, Ace of Cups, sorry. That almost always swings between these 2 poles. At some point, there's this desolation of loss. And then, the cold, I've lost them. We've lost each other. And then the warm, renewed energy of we can begin again. We can begin again. One cycle ends, the next begins. And not picking up exactly where you left off. We never can, because time has passed. But we can pick up the thread, find the thread. Look for it. This card of looking for it. It's almost like I'm getting the image of if you have a spool of thread and you're trying to find the beginning bit, and it seems like it's just thread with no tail that you can grab and pull, and it's like somebody's trying to find that find the thread. Well, you got to look for it. Card of looking for it. It's a new way of seeing. It's kind of like that, clear vision, fresh eyes. Look at it with fresh eyes. Because I think you'll find yourself, you'll find your way, both of you. Pentacles, a lot of time, a lot of work, a lot of effort. I just want to get one on one side. We have Queen of Swords, a Queen of Pentacles. We haven't seen, we've seen a Page of Swords, like that's a dink. It's not a match for the Queen, and there's a match here. So what has this other guy grown into over time? All Pentacles energy. What have they invested in? Hang on. I think I glimpsed the Ten of Swords under there. It was a glimpse. That end of the crappy sword cycle. In the new cycle, I mean, this is what we can manifest. We can bring it through. I get the feeling both parties are working their way toward this. And it's slow. It really is slow. We keep getting that again and again. But yeah, there's a closing out of the cycle. The 10 to the Ace. A new direction, a fresh direction toward the fire energy. Both of you. Okay. I was asking, who's on the other side? King of Pentacles. Your 3D match. The reliable show up energy of somebody who cares and is real and authentic. There's been a block. And I think this is somebody in Wands energy standing up for this relationship. You know, whatever block there was, moving forward from that in a new direction. It's almost like if there's a block, if somebody's trying to block, you just find a way around. You find a new direction. You don't keep hammering away at the block. But I'm also getting this protective energy. In this case, like somebody running interference. But in that football analogy, you block people who are trying to get in the way of this forward movement. There may have been interference in this relationship. Libra energy of justice. things coming back into balance in sword energy. So now we have two major arcana cards of air energy that completely not only balance out, but really correct on that archetypal level the lousy sword energy, that 10 of swords that I glimpsed. It's wrapped up. It's done. Is there anything ever really done? No, but, this implies having to get back in balance. If something knocks it off, get back in balance. Get back in balance. And who would? These guys. They're in balance with each other. Each one is good in themselves. Nobody's needy here. These two come together, and we've got that 10 of Pentacles. They can establish Pentacles energy, a long-term, grounded place together where they can go the distance. Incredibly optimistic. But, there's a new beginning in passion and purpose and in love. And here's the culmination of the passion and purpose. Ace of Wands to Four of Wands. And the culmination in love is Lovers, the match. Both on the archetypal level, that deep level of the psyche, and in how it appears in 3D. Being able to bring that through into 3D. That heady, because this is a card of Virgo, Gemini. Exactly those energies. Card of Gemini. And all these Virgo energies, and there are just a ton of them. 2, 3, 5, 10 of Pentacles, and Knight of Pentacles, and King and Queen of Pentacles. Very strong bring it through energy. And Gemini is on the board. The pair, the match, right? In 3D. Took a long time, but it's here now in this fresh energy, and look for it. It's coming in. I'm just seeing if there's any kind of timing card here. It certainly took a long time. Wrapping up that 10 cycle, beginning again with the new Ace of Wands. Could be a week, a month. I think it's a month. Because, well, this sort of indicates a month, Four of Wands. And that cycle ending. And the new cycle, it's pretty fast. But you're ready for it. Nobody's going to be left in this kind of energy. Left doubting love. Nobody's going to be left doubting love. All this sword energy, doubt, incomplete information, what's going on. It'll be clear, sword energy, the connection, Gemini. And you'll build it back. and you have the time to do it. And it may not be poof, here it is, except that it looks a little bit, sorry, a little bit like poof, here it is. Here's the wand, the magic wand. Birth of Venus Tarot often talks about magic in the mundane, you know, in the real life, how it unfolds in real life. Pentacles all over this reading, that's what that is. Magic, magician, as it expresses in daily life, the mundane. You know, I think it was Einstein said, either everything's a miracle or nothing is. And this would argue for everything is. Everything. We can manifest it if we work at it over time. It's about getting real. And you are King and Queen of Pentacles. And I'm just hearing a thing in my ear that says, don't settle. Don't settle. I mean, if this kind of thing persists, move on. Because up ahead, there's something vastly different that's grounded and stable and balanced and true. And all the time passing and all this, I'll sneak, I won't let anybody know. It might have to do with a legal situation, to do with property or money, because money's all over the read too. So somebody was trying to sort of wait it out, Pentacles energy. But there's so much positive energy on the board. If that was the case, moving out of that, it took a long time. And with that, wrapping up of that cycle is immense relief. It was so burdensome. It was so heavy. It took so long. New cycle. New cycle. Get ready for the new cycle. Venus out of retrograde. I don't know when. I don't know exactly what it means. But Venus is the feminine principle of receiving. Opening up to it. Love. Opening up to love. See you next time.